Hi everyone, Crypto Vatsik here. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Crypto Vatsik for more frequent updates. Nothing you're about to see is considered financial advice. These are my opinions only. Okay, so let's get into it. The first chart here that I've got is ETHBTC. This is not a chart that I'm currently trading, but it's something that I like to check in on and take a look at in regards to the altcoin market. Usually when Ethereum is performing well against Bitcoin, it's a good sign for strength in the altcoin market, and the vice versa when ETHBTC is declining and showing signs of weakness, the altcoin market usually takes a hit as well. So what I'm seeing currently is just some areas of interest on the fibs here. So currently retesting the 0.382 fib line as support in theory. If we lose this area, then I'd be looking closer down to this next support here at the 0.055 region roughly, which would be about a halfway retracement on the fib. We did see this distributive structure here on the bearish divergence with respect to RSI, lower peaks here and higher peaks here on price as a classic bearish divergence. So this is a distributive pattern. And of course, we saw the decline after that, had a hard time breaking through this resistance here. So some strong resistance at 0.075 area. Broke through it temporarily, but you could call it deviation. Came back right down underneath. So yeah, that's kind of the areas that I'm looking at. If we lost that area as well, I'd look at the 618, which is quite frequently an area of support in the altcoin market. And we've also seen a previous peak here, tested it as resistance until we broke through. And then finally, my kind of final resort area of support here would be just before the 786. Reason being is because it has been tested about 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so times that it's been a significant area of support or resistance. So that's kind of just what I'm looking. I like to check in on it. It doesn't look great at the moment, but until this starts showing signs of strength again, just a good indication of the altcoins in general on a macro scale. So just getting into the actual Ethereum price chart here, we've got some wave counts with respect to Elliott wave theory here that I can see. So basically, just Elliott wave theory is 5 waves up, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually the first wave being roughly the same length as the second wave. So you could say something like this. Tends to be pretty similar. And then the fifth wave can be short. It can be really expansive. It's kind of that final push before a change in direction where we get the ABC correction. So A, B, C, something like that. So basically 5 waves up and then 3 waves down. The same can be said if you look at bear market structure, just a cycle trend that's headed down. So if I inverse the chart, you can see it a little bit better. You got 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people can argue that this was actually the top of wave 1. It's quite the wick. I don't know. It doesn't matter as much to me, I think, as long as you get to the same endpoint at 5 waves. And then we had our corrective ABC structure here. So now we're working on this next leg up, and there's been some talk about retesting Bitcoin's previous all-time high at 20,000, which would be a safe assumption that Ethereum could then retest its previous all-time high at about $1,400. So I think that's definitely in play. It's something to consider. We're not actually that far away from it at this point. But you could zoom in on lower time frames in this move here and count the 5 waves. I think it is nearing completion at this point, but that's kind of my thoughts on Ethereum right now. I don't think there's too much more to go into until we see price really decide a direction here. So just another example here is the Solana chart on the 3-day time frame. So we saw, obviously the high here in November 2021, which marked the beginning of this entire move. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, and I do think we're working on our fifth and final wave here to this move. And just to show you a little bit more clearly, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere down here. That I think will be coming to an end of this move. And again, just to show you, so the length of this move from the beginning to the end of the first wave should be roughly the same as the second wave here. So you can see it actually broke through a little bit below, but it should be roughly similar in length. And the fourth wave, of course, should not be preceding the previous high of wave 1. So essentially, if we saw it come way down here, it's a little bit harder to count. I don't know if it would be in play, but it should at least retest it or come close to retesting the peak here. And for me, this is good enough. This is close enough. It didn't quite come to actually touching this wick of the wave, but that just shows the strength in the move. As not retracing that much, sort of thing. So you could look at just show you again here. So you can take out your fibs here. You can say, okay, this one retraced to 618, which typically after that the second wave would retrace somewhere around the 382 to revisit the previous wave 1 high. So anyways, that's kind of my thoughts on Solana at this point. Again, just to recap, I think we're somewhere close to finishing this wave 5, and then I do believe that we will be marking a bottom across the board on altcoins in a macro sense here, and then be entering our area of accumulation for the next cycle. And there's a lot of fear and uncertainty in the market right now too, especially with Solana. We've probably all heard about the recent bug in their blockchain that shut them down for about 4.5 hours, I think it was. So I think it's just interesting to note that every bear market we see this type of stuff where near a bottom, and we start to see the FUD really tack on, and that's when all the negative media comes out, is when you're nearing that bottom, or you're just in an overall bear market. And the same thing could be said about when you're pumping and you're in a bull market. So anyways, I really think that you'll see the media start to change here once we start, the bull cycle. Media will get really positive again. Everyone get excited over things. Same thing happened with Ethereum, with the gas fees, right? We've seen this before. So it doesn't take away the strong fundamentals from an asset in the long term, especially if there are issues that can be resolved by developers. So here's Polkadot. So similar story. We've got wave counts all the way down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the corrective ABC structure here. And then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and actually failed to break. This fifth wave was quite weak. Failed to break. Had a bit of a retracement here. And again, I'm talking about the trend, right? So I'm inverting the chart here. I'm counting the wave counts that go with the trend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the ABC structure here, kind of a running flat, just since the C wave here didn't actually come below the A wave. So essentially just running flat, really strong pattern here to precede the next wave, 5 waves here. So kind of ran out of steam here, had a bit of retracement, and then again another 5 waves, and found some support here, and doesn't look like it's quite finished yet. So I think we're still somewhere in the making of our fifth and final wave. And you can zoom out and pinpoint smaller waves within major waves. So essentially it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can essentially be your first major wave, which you'd go on to make your 5 macro waves. So within each wave are 5 other waves, and then ABC's down, and then 5 more again within each major wave. So somewhere in here you could count again that there's a major wave cycle that we're coming to completion at some point. So just another way of looking at it, however you want to count it. But I think again, at the end of the day, as long as we all end up at the same area, we can speak the same language. Long-term Polkadot, I love the project, love what they're doing. They've got lots of strong fundamentals. They've got the parachain launch auctions going on right now. So really exciting stuff there. And it's just the fact they're building during the bear market, right? They're building the product up for the next major cycle, which is really good to see. So just a quick look at Near here, relatively newer coin on the market. I like this project as well. I think long term it's got lots of potential. Just something I'm noticing here is on the fib lines. The previous cycle we dipped below the 786 fib here for about 27 days. So it did come back up but I think it dipped back down again below. So I'm taking this entire count here as 27 days that we were below before the next major move up. So if you think history often rhymes, then I would expect we could see something similar. So here's 27 days, something similar to this. I'm not saying it's going to take 27 days again. It could take longer, but I think just something to notice that we could spend some time under this 786 and could provide a good opportunity to enter some long-term positions as we saw back in July 2021. CRV. Otherwise, Curve Finance, another asset that I like. I think lots of potential as well. It's doing some cool things with staking that you can check out on their website. Just with a simple Google search, some really interesting things going on there, and I would highly recommend you check it out. With respect to the price here, it's had a tough go. I have been dollar cost averaging in this coin for some time. And I'm underwater on some of them, and I think it's just again, it goes to you if you believe in something long term, but you should be careful, right? I don't think anyone expected it to have this tough a go right off the bat since its launch, but it is what it is. So all we can do is play what the chart's telling us. We're currently at this support line here. It's obviously a downtrend. Respecting it quite well here and getting to that level of interest right here with support. And then the next area would be this previous peak that I marked out from 2020. I don't know how significant it would play at this point. I'd really like to see this support here hold above and maybe just a wick down kind of thing. But yeah, I think this green area would be a gift to get in under about $1 CRV, and I'd be definitely looking to enter some more positions there. Again, just another example of a coin spending a little bit of time below the 786 here before its next major move up. So again, kind of just what I showed you previously is these dips below tend to be good long term. Dogecoin, I won't spend too much time talking about. Just noticing the fact that it does respect these shelves: pump up, shelf, pump up, shelf. And then zooming in, again, pump up, shelf, pump up, shelf. So yeah, who knows if we're going to see surpass $1 on Dogecoin. I think there's a lot of people saying it can't do it with the market cap. Well, back here in May 2021, it reached a 92 billion market cap. So I think that if it did reach $1, it would be 132 billion market cap, just given the circulating supply. Its market cap divided by circulating supply gives you the price. So at $1, basically just $1 times circulating supply is 132 billion. So I don't think it's out of the question. I think it could surpass $1, especially if altcoins get a really good bull run here soon. But yeah, just something to note. I thought I'd just make a point of it. I'm not an investor in Doge, but I do love watching meme coins. All right, everyone, thanks for joining. Hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter. We'll see you on the next one.